Hello, good evening, and welcome to part two of Marionette, a modern Mage the Ascension story. This is following up as part of a series. If you've missed the first episode, please do tune in on YouTube or wherever else you may find our videos to catch up with what this story is about and how we got to this point. You're of course welcome to start here if you want to. I'm not a cop, but there is a full story to be told. Before we jump into things, I'd like to remind all viewers that this is a World of Darkness game, and as such, there will be dark materials involved in this storytelling. Mind control and loss of agency is a major theme of Marionette, as well as a usual assortment of harm towards people, potential death, creepy things, scary things, a variety of things. If at any point you find yourself uncomfortable, please do remember you have control of this video. Pause it, mute it, turn it off, come back to it later when you are comfortable. This is for your entertainment, as dark as it may be. Our players have agreed to everything that you see in this game, and we have means to communicate with each other to maintain our comfort level and be on the same page at all times. Speaking of our players, I'd like to introduce you to them. We're going to start with Abby.
Yeah, there. I'm Abby, and tonight I'll be taking on the role of Lori Williams, a very overwhelmed young lady who has a tendency to make dinosaurs come out of her purse.
We are moving now to Brennan.
Hi, I'm Brennan. I'm God's strongest soldier at 6:30 in Dubai, but I'll be playing Dr. Arthur Washington, who is fascinated by children who could use technology.
We're moving over now to Steve.
Hey everybody, I'm Steve. I am going to be playing Jonathan Bonaparte Yovi, the aging rocker who had a band in the 80s but doesn't anymore.
We have a new face from last episode. Moving now to Sam.
Hi everyone, I'm Samantha McLarty, and I'm going to be playing Olivia Pierce, and you'll just have to wait and see what I do.
We're going to round things out with Jamar.
That's me. I'm playing Valente. And he's got a lot of familial trauma and papers to grade.
And then once again, I am Zachary Vado, your storyteller for the evening. Players, are we ready to resume? Then let's begin. Last episode, we introduced you to the modern world of Mage as we know it for purposes of this story. A world irrevocably changed by paradox due to the incessant warring of factions. A world where traditions, technocracy, and disparates exist in tenuous accord, working together to keep paradox from rising further so they may continue to exist unimpeded. We introduced you to a group of mages from differing backgrounds brought together to investigate the misuse of magical ability among the sleeping masses. A mind mage using their powers towards their own ends, no matter the cost. And where we last left, these mages found themselves face to face with another of their kind, mere moments from attack. But before we pull that particular pin, let's backtrack to just an hour or so ago, to one particular mage going about her day. Olivia, Liv, could you tell us a bit about yourself?
Yes, well, I am very, very into science fiction and things that, well, very unconventional. And at the moment, I have been working diligently on inventing time travel. Like
That
time travel
love of
that makes sense to people so that it could actually work out and not have to deal with any repercussions, but yeah, it's the whole thing.
Of course, that love of science fiction, the unconventional. It's hard to say if that informed your awakening into your life as a mage or if it was impacting your tastes all along. But either way, you did eventually find yourself a member of the Society of Ether, one of the couple of groups of traditions that still hold some semblance of organization in this world where mages merge together. In fact, it's that merging together, I imagine, that prompted you to consider a more humanity acceptable approach to time travel as opposed to your usual magical methods. Influence from the technocracy, as much as mages don't want to admit it, can sometimes have its perks.
Precisely. And
How is that
yeah.
going for you?
I feel like I'm right there. It's so close. I can feel it. If I could just figure out just there's just gotta be just one little thing. I'm missing one little component, and I just it is just eluding me, and it's so frustrating. Just I'm infuriating, and I just I need more coffee.
Absolutely. If you can't figure out what you're missing, whether it be you can't figure out the physical component, you can't figure out the mental component, coffee it is. So, with that, you exit. Tell us a bit about where you are right now.
Um, so I am in a. It's kind of I have this really weird aesthetic for things that look older, antique, slightly run down. So it kind of looks like a little like rundown warehouse. On the outside, it could probably stand to use like a paint job and I don't know, pressure washer maybe. But nonetheless, um, it has a lot more to offer on the inside. I swear, there's
Of
not much
course.
rust.
And living slash working out of such a warehouse puts you more into the city proper rather than out. So it's very easy for you to just walk right out of your location and start walking down the block to one of the local coffee shops. You're walking, you're pondering what could be missing, what element of this is what's going to finally put you over the edge. It's going to impress your peers. It's going to succeed where you've been striving to succeed this entire time. That lost in your head mentality makes it very easy for you to stop focusing on where you're going for a bit, bumping into a couple of people as you make your way to get your coffee. And as you walk to get your coffee, you see the coffee shop ahead, and you walk towards it. And then you keep walking right past it. You're you're not sure why you walked past it, but it's justifiable to you. The reason is not present, but deep in the recesses of your mind, you know this is what makes sense right now. And so you find yourself redirecting and you're continuing to walk. You're continuing to walk. Are you still thinking about time travel at this point?
Yeah, I feel like that. I keep a little hourglass because it's kind of like a big deal. Like I'm a huge fan of all the old school like sci-fi movies and stuff like that, and just so yeah, I think that I'm still thinking about it, and at the same time, I'm probably drifting off into kind of like if I can manage time travel, what else will I be able to do with the time travel? Can I go back until like there's until the dimensions are actually together, so you can just like step through across like the linear realms of the dimensions? Like, there's no telling. There's so much stuff that I could get done.
There is so much that you can get done. You do know, in fact, that there are some mages on the technocratic side that view dimensional space as a tappable affinity, a tappable sphere. Perhaps that could help. That could help you as well. You just need to remove the obstacles in your way to achieve this. And as you're walking, as you're thinking about this, you notice that your path is blocked by four people in front of you. And with your prime rating where it is, it's very easy for you to immediately pick up that these are four mages in your way. And you you acknowledge them briefly. They acknowledge you back, but they're not moving out of the way. They are in your way now. You have a mission you have something that you need to do and they're in your way. And it's hard for you to determine specifically if they're in your way, in the way of what you were just telling us about and thinking about, or if they're in the way of something else. But it suddenly clicks to you. It suddenly makes sense that these four are an obstacle and they have to be removed. And you look for what you might have on you, and you pull out a small little gadget that you've been working on. It's something for you to really focus your energy. You turn a couple clicks, it lights, it whirs, it gears up. And how do you attempt to remove the obstacle from your path?
I'm going to use Hell Hath No Fury.
All right. Could you tell us a little bit about what that does? This particular route.
It essentially it's the closest thing that I can get to an energy blaster gun, like you'd see on like Star Wars or something. Like, yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, you are in the middle of a city, out on the street, but that's not really of a concern to you right now. So you're going to go ahead and roll this as vulgar with witnesses, and that is going to roll a difficulty of the highest sphere that you will be using for this, which I believe is just forces, +5. So your difficulty is going to be 8 on this. It will be reduced actually, though. You are using a specialized, you're using a special instrument, a unique and special instrument, so that will reduce it down to 6. But you will immediately take paradox for starting this. You will take 1 paradox, and then we'll see how much more kicks in from there. So please go ahead and roll a number of dice equal to your arete, and you are trying to roll at least 1, if not more, sixes.
Okay. So out of the 3, I've got to remember how to do this again. Wait a minute. Out of the, it's because the Arte that I have I've got 3 in that. So
Yes.
I just rolled the 3 dice.
Correct.
2 of them were 10s, and the
Okay.
other one was an 8.
Okay, that is more than enough to succeed. You are still going to take 1 more point to paradox for this, but I need you to make a roll of your stamina plus forces in number of dice. The difficulty is going to stay at 6. And this is the amount of damage that you are going to deal to these people to attempt to move them from your path.
I'm sorry, guys.
It's a homophobic, but it's fine.
All right. 2 10s,
Mm-hmm.
an 8, a 9. Yeah, 2 10s, 8, and 9. Okay.
So that is 4 damage. That's 4.
Okay.
So rather than all of you taking 4 directly, this is a group of people. I am going to spread this, and each of you are going to take 1 health damage. So please take off 1 box of health as you 4 find yourself suddenly overwhelmed with a wave of highly agitated plasma. You feel the current within the plasma shock your nervous system, overwhelm your brain temporarily, causing intense internal harm before it dissipates. This mage has just attacked you.
My
You guys
first
have
thought
about
is
5 seconds to figure out if this is a puppet or I'm going to kill it.
I
I was gonna say that was a little extreme, but I think this might be give me just a fuck that hurt. My first thought here is she just cast something at us. This person just, oh my god, is that plasma in this form? Seriously, no decorum. My thought is I would like to manipulate two spheres to drain literal. No, let me word this better.
Mhm.
I want to increase the amount of melatonin that her brain is producing and make her real sleepy.
Interesting. Interesting.
I cast pass
I
the
think
fuck out.
I think that you can definitely
Curse
do
the
that.
lack of caffeine.
I think you can definitely do that between your life and your correspondence, from where you're standing to manipulate from a distance. Are you using any of your instruments with this?
I am actually. I'm going to reach out in my bag, pull out a glass stirring rod, and sort of just bippity boppity boo with it.
All right. Let me take a quick look. So because this is something that is happening entirely inside of somebody else's body, there is no and it's not showing any physical result beyond what would naturally happen to somebody at any given point in time. I am going to call this coincidental magic, uh, because somebody can get, unless she just hard passes out and hits the floor. There's no really nothing confusing for people. So that is going to give
People
you a
get sleepy.
difficulty of exactly. So the starting difficulty for that is 7, but you are using a unique and specialized instrument. So that is going to reduce the difficulty down to 5. Please roll your arate at a difficulty of 5.
Well, my art had a difficulty of 5. Sure thing.
Should have stopped at the coffee shop.
4 successes.
4 successes?
Yes.
Liv, you attempted to move these mages out of the way. They didn't move. One of them pulled out a glass stick, and suddenly, like you just said, you really should have stopped at that coffee shop. You find yourself staggering, leaning against the wall. You need a nap right now. Uh, any action that you attempt to do is going to come either at a dice penalty if it is an action, or it's going to come at an increased difficulty if you're casting magic. Would anybody else like to do anything before we move back to Liv? Because only one person actually did something.
I actually am gonna hold on. I'm only good at one thing, and it's magic. And I should not probably do a whole bunch of that.
While you're looking, does anybody in this group have any dots in the mind sphere to do what Dr. Washington suggested of figure out if it's a puppet?
Yeah,
I have
do.
one.
I have one.
Okay. I'll default to Valente here. Since you already speaking up, but if you wanted to get a sense of what's going on, you could. That would be something magical that would not necessarily cause paradox. It would not be vulgar because again, it's something that's happening. It's something that's happening without being seen by anything, unless you're making something happen, such as puppeting people.
No. Yeah, I'll check. Even though Valente looked like his hands are twitching, like he was like about to just straight up fight her.
I will say this is wholly a suggestion. You are welcome to do whatever you want to. You all have agency, even though Olivia does not at the moment.
No. This is something. This is something he would like, kind of have to like force him. Like it. His survivalist demeanor is in conflict with how he likes being perceived and also how he likes being. So,
Well, actually, because of that, just for the fun of it, could you
You spoke too much.
roll for me I'm gonna make it a higher roll for you. Could you make a roll of wits and meditation for me?
Oh, absolutely, I can do that.
We're doing a standard difficulty of 6. I just want to
2, 3,
see
4, 5,
how well
6,
are you able
7.
to move that.
That's 7 dice.
Hmm.
That is 3 successes and a bunch of
More than
4s.
more than
You
enough.
did
No
have your thought.
ones.
No ones.
Yeah. So then, yes, I will absolutely say that you were able to comfortably redirect yourself. There's not even a push in any other direction. You're very comfortably able to redirect yourself away from violence.
Yeah, so I'll just check if she make sure that she is not in control of herself, because I know that is a theme today.
Hmm. Absolutely. And for anybody that was curious as to why specifically I wanted that roll to happen, Valente has a particular flaw that I thought would be fun to come up right about now.
Oh boy. Meanwhile, I'm like, it's her perp! Get her!
He
And
knows.
Valente's like,
He knows
let's
the one.
think about this.
All right. So you wanted to check to see what's going on in her head. You have 1 dot of mind, and that is enough to sense thoughts and feel and emotions in somebody else.
Yeah, I'll probably also like use a little bit of prime to kind of like look for magical influence in the mind. Like I
Okay,
won't
that
be
is
able to
going
like
to.
read it, but like I would be able to like I wouldn't be able to suss out what the spell is, TM, but I'd be able to be like,
Yes.
that's not right.
I think
No,
Mind One gives
absolutely.
you the ability to sense mind magic, right?
It gives you the ability to read thoughts and emotions. You can perceive psychic impressions about about a person. You can guess like weak resonance signatures. You can read strong resonance signatures. So yes, you can. But if you wanted to actually like determine like you're reading the mind of a mage, so you want if you want to distinguish between what resonance is hers versus somebody else's, that is where prime would come in.
Yeah.
Right.
So to that effect, this will also be coincidental, but you are still using prime instead of your 1 dot of mind. It's the highest sphere. So that is going to be a difficulty of 6, unless you were reducing it using any instruments or techniques.
Um, Part of like the meditation thing is like the ring that he has from his family, the prime ring, I like to call it, is a meditative ring. It keeps him calm. It's a
Okay.
stim. It's a free stim.
You have named this in particular as your unique and specialized instrument, so that is going to reduce the difficulty down to 4. Please roll your Arte at a difficulty of 4.
I am rolling. It is rolling. That is 1 success. No ones, but 1 success.
1 success is enough.
Oh my
One success is enough for you to get a quick impression, and you immediately. Actually, first, Liv, what are you thinking about right now? Not like supreme detail, but what are you thinking about?
Coffee.
The desperate need for coffee.
Really tired now.
God. Cop.
Do
I
you
just
feel and do you feel any specific ill will towards these people?
They're still in my way. And I didn't really feel tired until I encountered them. So that's suspicious. They need to move because I feel like I need to go that way, even though my coffee shop's that way. I'm sure there's another one ahead somewhere that's got better coffee, but either way, they're prohibiting me from getting where I need to go.
Valente, you get all of these thought impressions and these feelings. You get the sense that there isn't any actual malice here, and all of that is woven with a very familiar signature to you right now, one that you were able to pick up on at the bank.
She's a puppet. Don't kill her. He almost sounds a little dejected. Almost. It's very uncharacteristic. But
I figured she either had to be a puppet or an asshole to attack a blind old man on the street.
Fair.
Would anybody else like to do anything, or are we stopping ourselves because of Valente's observation?
Yeah, I'm
I
gonna.
wanted to give
I'm
all
gonna.
four of you a chance right
Okay.
now.
Rocker boy, you look
That's
like the
it.
kind of guy who has the fuzzy cuffs in your car. Restrainer.
No, I don't.
Do you?
Really?
Storyteller, would I be able to use Mind 1 and Prime 3 to kind of disrupt the puppeteering?
I am going to say no, because it will take a higher level of mind to. It'll take a higher level of mind to do that right there, because that higher levels of mind involve like psychic blasts and empathetic bonds and whatnot.
Okay.
But she is
Does
looking
anybody have
extraordinarily
any?
sleepy.
Does anybody have any means of restraining her? Because if I do it, it's not going to be pretty.
Can I just punch her in the face?
If nobody else is doing anything, then you can. After I ask Liv, what are you doing?
Okay. Are there any sort of like around them or with them like I'm sure that there are like buildings that are probably
I think I
built
know
like
what you're.
metal in nature.
I think I know what you're asking for.
Yeah.
There are several buildings. There are street signs. There is a fire hydrant. There are parking meters. There's a lot.
Where are they in the grand in the relation of that fire hydrant?
The fire hydrant is between you and them.
Okay. And the water part, like when it
Is in the fire
like,
hydrant.
right, but like directionally, like is what I was trying to figure out, like where it's fine.
It would depend on what you do specifically with the fire hydrant.
Okay. I'm gonna use watch this,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm going to break the fire hydrant apart, like just have it all the little things that hold it together go away. So it should just essentially all the water and pressure being finally released is just gonna shoot back up.
Okay. So you're just going for a full removal and not anything directional?
I don't really like. My hope is that when it's breaking it apart, like kind of like if somebody were to hit the fire hydrant and it fall apart, it sends it shooting up, but it always
Shrapnel.
arcs.
Got you.
And yeah.
Understood. You're going to go ahead and you're going to roll again vulgar. So take a paradox and you are going to roll a difficulty of 8 once more.
Would I be able to like counterspell that with anything prime or forces?
I'm going to say go ahead and make a perception and awareness roll at the same difficulty of 8.
Counterspell.
Oh, sorry. I said so. Sam, I did say you'd be operating at a disadvantage. I'm not going to be as cruel as to make the difficulty 10, but it will be 9.
Okay.
You're so generous.
It's already 8.
Well.
Are tens exploding?
We didn't actually determine that, so I'm going with no.
Okay.
We've been going with no so far.
Yeah,
Ones are
it's
yes.
3
Tens are no.
successes for that one.
And I'm sure somebody in the comments knows the answer better than I do. I know a lot about the theoretical parts of Mage. The mechanics get a little fuzzy, unless I have them in front of me.
So, out of my 3 dice,
Mm-hmm.
the 3 of them came out as 10.
All 3 are 10s.
Yes.
So this will work. You're going to take another point of paradox as it works. But first, Jonathan, what did you roll?
I rolled 4 successes total.
4 successes total. Were any of them ones? Were any of the
No.
rolls ones?
No.
Okay. I will give you the chance to say or do one thing before this goes off.
Am I able to block it with Prime?
Prime doesn't. Let me take a quick look.
I think Prime is only able to start countering spells at 4.
You have
Yes, you are
matter?
correct.
I have no matter.
You do also have forces.
I do have forces, yeah.
You can use gravity to move the arc. I was gonna suggest that, but I didn't roll the awareness, so I'm giving that to you.
Yeah, I could basically just like with the arc coming towards us, it could be just off by a few degrees, so we get a little smattering of water, but as opposed to
Just turn it toward Olivia. Make her get her waterboarded. Waterboard her. Waterboard.
Yeah. So
it'll wake her
at
up.
that point, at that point, you have a decision to make. Do you want to redirect the metal or shrapnel away from you, or do you want to redirect the water towards this mage?
the shrapnel away from us, just so it misses
Okay.
us. Yeah.
Great. You're gonna roll. That's going to be. I'm gonna consider that vulgar without witnesses, just because
Okay.
you are still manipulating physical matter in the air, but it's in such a way where it could be chalked up to chance. So that is going to be a difficulty of 7, unless you are using instruments or techniques.
Nothing that I have for any of my instruments would really apply. Like nobody would really believe, like, if I whipped out the guitar right now off my back and started strumming it, that would have any effect on physical
Fortunately,
things like hitting us whatsoever.
fortunately, the instruments don't have to be part of the persuasion element. They simply are means for you to channel your magic, and you're already operating on a bit of a vulgar wavelength
Okay.
anyway.
Yeah, I'll like swing the guitar so that it kind of looks like I'm smashing it, but I hit one of the pieces and the rest of the pieces kind of deflect.
Okay, go ahead and roll your arte.
That is a 9, a 5, and a 2.
All right, that is 2 successes because it does. I forgot to state you're
Oh.
using your guitar. It's special. It's a special, unique instrument, so that drops it by 2. It was 7, so difficulty is 5. You have 2
Oh,
successes.
sweet. All right.
So, Liv, you look towards. You just look towards the fire hydrant, and you watch as the water builds up inside of it so intensely it rockets the fire hydrant itself up into the air. The caps on the fire hydrant shoot off. The bolts, like the nuts and bolts that are holding the pieces on, shoot off in a spray towards these 4 people. Right as one of them pulls a guitar off his back and just sort of swipes at the air, and you watch everything just sort of barely miss them. The nuts like shoot off into the street. The caps bounce off the ground near their feet, and the fire hydrant itself arcs a bit too high and crashes behind them. But everybody is now getting covered in raining water from
I'm so angry.
this.
And what?
Like a cat.
Oh my God, Dr. Arthur
And you are
Washington is
still-
basically just an angry old cat.
And of course, Liv, you are still extraordinarily tired. In fact, like it feels as if it's starting to grow in you more and more.
I'm
All right.
okay.
Who's
No, I
ready
can't
for
do
this
that.
angry old cat to move?
Get her, Grandpa.
After Valente
Okay.
casted EP.
Zach,
Would you like to do something,
help me
Dr.
out.
Washington?
Yes. So what Dr. Washington is going to do is he's going to reach into his coat and he's going to produce a vial of spiders.
Okay.
And what I'd like to do, and you can help me actually work out the actual dots to do. I'm going to use
Absolutely.
correspondence to
Mhm.
move the spiders onto her. The spiders will bite her.
Okay.
And I will transfer. I think I can change the life form into a bacteria.
You can alter simple life forms. So oh yeah, actually yes, insects count. So you could alter the spiders themselves if you wanted.
Okay, so I'm going to I'll alter the spiders after biting into Clostridium tetani, and I'm going to give her tetanus.
Okay.
First of all, technically spiders are not insects.
Technically they're not, but the book doesn't actually distinguish it as as complex from there. The book says viruses, mollusks, insects, plants. That's a rather wide array of simple life forms. But okay, so you are going to attempt to actually let me actually check to make sure the correspondence itself is enough
If
for
I
that.
need to, I can do it up close and personal, but I think I got enough correspondence just for that.
You actually do have correspondence to reach through space, so I believe that you can move the spiders themselves through space. That would count.
Okay.
So you are going to roll. This is going to be vulgar with witnesses because you are teleporting spiders and then transforming them, which is a fun thing that you can say only in Mage. So you are going to take a point of paradox.
Teleport spiders.
Transforming them into tetanus.
Yes. So you're going to take another point of paradox on top of what you already had, and then you were going to roll 4 dice at a difficulty of 7, unless you were using any instruments or techniques. Is the vial of spiders part of your instruments?
Yes, I think it is. Hold on, let me check.
Did I get paradox for redirecting?
You got the 1 at the beginning. You didn't get 2.
Okay.
No, it's not, but I could write a prescription for it.
Okay. 1 prescription for virus spiders. Go ahead and roll 4 dice for me.
I prescribe tetanus to you.
Go ahead and roll for your 4 dice for me at a difficulty of 5. I think prescriptions is your special and unique one compared to everything else.
Yep, and that's 4 successes.
4 successes. Liv, at this point, I would like for you to make a roll of, you know what? Just roll a number of dice equal to your willpower. Because your body chemistry is being altered several different ways in one go, and this will impact how your mind is operating as your body attempts to keep up.
10, 10, 8, 10, 8, 7, 4.
All right, that's 4 successes. As you first take 1 point of health off. Also, Dr. Washington, take a second point of paradox for this.
Okay.
As spiders suddenly appear on your skin, biting into you before they seemingly vanish into your body, and you feel something wrong with your joints. The sheer number of ways that your body chemistry has been slung back and forth in a short time span rattles you out of this rationalized stupor that you have found yourself in. And you are abruptly very aware that you are standing on the street performing magic with other people, being rained down upon by a fire hydrant that you caused. You know that you got here, you're still not sure why you got here. The rationalizations of avoiding the coffee shop, moving these people out of your way, no longer make sense to you, and everything about you hurts.
Am I still getting the live news feed of brain drain?
you're not still getting the news feed, but you can very easily see a change of
We can
expression
see it
on
on
her
our
face.
face.
Yes, amidst the tired and pain.
Though that could be because she just got bit by a bunch of spiders.
I would say that it's not so much the muscle spasming and the stiffness that you are seeing on her face as it is the confusion.
Can I like reach into her mind, kind of do the thing that Valente did, just be kind of like, let's see if she's actually like back or
Okay,
wherever she was
you
before.
you're going to go ahead and you're going to make a roll for me of your RTA at a difficulty of 4.
All right. That is a 8, a 6, and a 2. So 2
Great.
successes.
You're able to feel the same confusion as her.
Whoa! Everybody, chill out. Whoa! Whoa!
Oh, sorry. Actually, just to confirm, it will not change the successes that you had. But were you doing exactly what Valente was doing with Prime and Mind to like pick out the magical signature? Or were you just reading the thoughts?
Just reading the thoughts.
Okay, great. Everything I said still applies.
Okay. Whoa, everybody. Whoa. Chill out. I don't think
Well,
she's
I
being
wasn't sending spiders after her.
I don't think she's being
He
controlled
shot
anymore.
us with a laser blaster.
That is a good point.
And she's lucky that I didn't send the other spiders.
Oh, not the
What
other
did,
spiders.
well, could you undo that?
When she's restrained.
Okay.
Can I hear them at all?
Yeah, we're
Yeah,
openly bickering.
You're
When
on
he
you're on the street.
says
You're not far
the
from them.
laser thing, I'm just gonna be like, it's a ray gun.
Jesus,
Or
we're gonna get into the
Training,
Cyclops conversation, aren't we?
kind of.
Jesus
Jaw
Christ, she's a
closing.
nerd.
I will if I hope you don't mind, and I just kind of like grab her wrists like I'm restraining her. Is this
What the fuck?
just play along? I'm not even doing it hard.
Nope, it's not really my kind of kink, but I mean,
Can we un what did you even do to those spiders?
I gave her tetanus. Her joint should be locked up.
Valente, you actually do feel like under your hand, you feel the muscles under Liv's skin spasm occasionally.
Can I use my my two I want to specifically go after the tetanus and just make it like, I don't know, not tetanus.
You Life 2 is in fact altering simple life forms, which is exactly what we said earlier, and you are in physical contact with her, so you can attempt to cure tetanus on contact.
Bacteria bend.
Yeah, I'm
Yes.
bacteria bending right now.
All right,
Yeah, and I'll
so
just
that is
turn
going
it
to
into.
be.
I'll turn
I'm
it
gonna
into
call this
caffeine.
turn to caffeine. Nice. Okay, I like that a lot. I'm going to call it vulgar no witnesses because that's pretty intense still, but you're only rolling at a difficulty of 6 for that.
6.
Unless you're doing
Is
unless you're doing anything special.
is that with my So one of my things is blood and body fluid. I'm purposely
Then that's
going
going
for
to be we're going to call it difficulty of 5 then.
okay.
Or rather,
I
I'll call it a difficulty of 5 if you either cut your finger or spit on your hand. Because it's your because you were it is you are not it's not you affecting the blood and body fluid, it's you using the blood and body fluid.
that is fair. I'll do it. Sorry, and I just kind of like he's like, I'm so sorry. Spits in his hand, and grabs her hand and then squeezes real hard.
All right, go ahead and roll your 3 dice for your arate. Liv, as weird as this is, you know magic. So it's gross, but you at least understand that this is probably more magic.
This three successes.
3 successes. All right, Liv, this man spits in his hand, grabs you, and suddenly you are awake. You are back up awake. It is a it is a mad rush of caffeine that is fighting the melatonin in your system, but your joints don't hurt anymore. You don't feel like you're spasming. You feel like you're twitching a bit from the caffeine, but it's not the bad kind of spasming. But you're back up and you're alert. You're aware.
Jolt Cola, just
You feel better?
Yeah. Yeah.
Valenti, if I didn't say it already, do take a point of paradox from using a vulgar no witness ability. And I have to ask the group, does anybody here have more than 5 paradox?
I have 2.
no.
Okay.
We
have
had the
3.
we had the one from going into.
You each started with 1.
Yeah.
Two of you gained some more paradox, and then Liv
Sam
gained
might have
quite
a
a bit of
bunch.
paradox.
Yeah.
Sam, I think if I'm remembering correctly, Sam, you should be operating at about 4 right now.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I try
Hi.
very
well-
hard. Also, I wanted to ask, is being around so much accumulation of paradox, even if it's not mine, affect my thing?
It will not. No.
Okay, that's what I figured. Okay, I'm just making sure. I'm like,
I already kicked in your thing last episode anyway.
hee hee hee.
So hi, how are you? I'm Jonathan. That's Valente, Lori, and the wet cat over there is Dr. Washington. You are
Wait, the spiders? Those were real?
the spiders. Those are real is the weirdest name I've ever heard in my life. Can you?
No, not my name. But no, the spiders. I really thought that was just like in my head because sometimes that happens, and that's like totally fine. Like it's normal.
We
You
are
know,
not in your head.
I was wondering, because things and stuff. But hey, whatever. Olivia Pierce.
Olivia
Hi.
Pierce, gotcha. Well, nice to meet you. Welcome back to the world of the living. You wouldn't
You
have
can call
happened
me
to have
Liv if you want.
lived.
He is so formal.
Yes, yeah, I get that. You wouldn't have happened to have met another mage who did something weird to you, right? Maybe implanted some sleeper phase. Oh no, I'm fishing here. A lot of shit's been going on lately.
It kind
Also,
of
have you
sounded.
had coffee today?
I don't remember.
Do you normally have coffee?
Liv, you didn't
All
have
the
coffee
time.
today, but you were on your way there.
I have coffee all the time. I don't have any right now. That's what I was trying to do. I was trying to get more coffee because I feel like if I have coffee, then that is the missing thing. That's what's going to give me my big idea, like the big breakthrough that I am needing. And then once I have that done, then I will actually like effectively create time travel in a way that won't be bad for us, but everybody can use it. And then once I create the time travel, then we can time travel, and then we'll be able to figure out how to just like basically step in and out of different dimensions and such, and it'll be so cool.
So this is on no coffee.
I did turn the tennis.
Oh,
That was my bad.
That's like 20 milligrams of melatonin in her system. Jesus, jumping Christ.
Well,
There
there's
were
your
a lot of
connection.
spiders. There was a lot of spiders. Yeah, there was the coffee.
weren't we going
mean-
to a coffee shop or something?
No, we were
The
following.
ghosts.
Did you? So you don't remember anything prior to getting beaten up just now, right?
Liv, you remember the things that I dictated for you earlier, but again, they just sort of made sense to you all of a sudden.
I mean, I originally wanted coffee, but then I don't know, for some reason I just really, really needed to walk, like to go this way. And when I got here, you guys were here, and I needed to go that way, and you were blocking the way, so I needed you to move.
With
Looks like
lasers.
he's. Yeah, the lasers.
Made sense at the time.
This guy's really good at covering his tracks. So nothing
The
before that?
ghosts and the bank teller both mentioned that they went to get coffee, correct?
Yeah, I think so.
So, Liv, this probably is all really confusing. In short, someone's doing things with people's brains, robbing banks, making you shoot people with lasers. We're trying to find the mage that's doing that. We're mages, by the way, if you weren't able to guess from the various
kind of
terrible things that has
gathered.
happened. Yeah.
Kind of gathered. Yeah.
How
Not
is-
everybody can send, spiders to give me whatever.
Tetanus.
Or give me like a super jolt of
Caffeine.
caffeine when I haven't drink it. So, yeah.
How about you
Mages,
hang out with
that
us for a bit?
tracks.
Stay with us. We can solve this together. You might actually be the key we're looking for here.
Okay. How long is this gonna take? I'm not like I love adventures, especially like super like mystery stuff like that. I like it's a lot of fun. But like I said, I am like on the precipice of figuring out time travel in a way that's not gonna, be fucky and in a way that to where we can actually do it without suffering any kind of, consequences and shit. So I'm
Well,
so close to that and
when if you determine that this was a waste of time, then you figure out time travel, you can go back to this point and tell yourself not to do it.
Hey,
that's a really good point. I didn't think about that. That's
Having
a good point. Okay.
having 2 spheres in time, I'm gonna look around to see if I can like see if she actually popped up somewhere. Like,
You don't see anything.
okay. So yeah. Well, since you haven't shown up yet to tell yourself not to do this,
I'm gonna assume that it's probably a good idea that I do this then. Noted.
bingo.
Okay. All
Is
right. All
anyone
right.
It was
is anyone else
very
bothered
reasonable.
by the fact that they all went to get coffee, but none of them got coffee?
Yeah,
I
who's
thought
running this?
probably our perpetrators around the coffee shop, but not in it. Maybe in an apartment above?
Maybe it's the barista. You know what? She was a little salty with me the other day when I gave her my coffee order. Like,
You said you didn't even get to go inside. Did you go inside?
Not today, but the other day. So that means she's got like a grudge. I don't know. Like, I know how this all works. Like, I might not remember it. It's possible. Like,
Is
I don't
this-
think that I went today. I don't remember there being an empty coffee cup near me when I was working on my machine thing. So I don't think that I went today, but I did go yesterday and the day before that. And she's been real salty with me lately. So you know what? It's got to be
Can we-
her. It's got to be the
can-
barista. She's
Can
the
we
one that did it.
turn down the caffeine in her for just a sec?
I mean, I
I
could,
do need
but
those
I'd
spiders
rather head
back.
over.
I will let nature do that.
Exactly.
So who's
I'm
running
feeling-
this
We're
coffee
metal.
shop? Vampires?
Ugh, they would have eaten her by now. They
Oh,
love
yeah.
sending their little pets out. Trust me. If anything, it'd be werewolves with how jumped up she is.
Well, they do all the weird mental thingers and whatnot.
Yeah, but it's simple things, inline phrases, telling someone to put shoes on their hands or whatever. But it sounds like our suspects are around the coffee shop. So maybe, just maybe, if our new friend Liv here can walk us over, maybe actually retrace your steps, take us along your path. Maybe we can find out what happened and what went wrong, and I'll pay for your coffee. How's that sound?
She doesn't need more
Um,
coffee.
Yeah, I don't think.
I'll get decaf.
Good
Don't worry,
idea.
Valente.
Okay, so you want me to take you? You want me to take you to my workstation?
Sure. Yeah, let's start from there.
All right, but I'm
That could work.
okay, but it's all proprietary information. Like you can't steal my ideas. Like you can't sell them to anybody or use them yourself. This is my idea, so I'm gonna need you to sign an NDA before you actually go into it.
I promise
Like
you,
I said-
nothing you have said makes any sense to me anyway.
Are you
In one ear and out the
using?
other.
Are you using the time sphere in order to do this? Is that how you're manipulating time?
I am not at liberty to say.
Because I might be able to help.
Communicating.
you still have to sign an NDA.
All right.
Because the base is mine, like the base model is mine. That's all from up here. I'll put you as like the co-author of the paper that I write on it, and when
I'm good with
you
20%. I'm fine. Yeah.
can, but that's fine.
15.
While we walk and talk, because
Yes.
Valente is moving everyone to make them walk and talk.
Yes.
I wanted to ask. I think he wants to ask. Did you see anyone on your brisk walk this way? A man or a masculine figure in a hat without any distinguishing features in a jacket? That's what we're doing. We were following a dude.
Uh,
I
And
did bump into someone. Just some
Liv, go ahead and make
people.
me a roll of. We're going to call it perception and awareness, but you're going to operate at a 2 dice penalty from the sheer body chemistry fuckery going on right now. The difficulty on it is going to be 8.
All right, so that is 10, 9, 8, 4, 3.
We're going to scrap. No, sorry. Re-roll because you're operating a 2 dice penalty, so you're just going to roll 3 dice, not all 5. So go ahead and re-roll.
Right, sorry.
No worries.
Ooh, that's better anyway.
Okay.
So that's a 10 and a 9 and
Okay.
a 4.
Okay. As you think about it, you can't really give any like special descriptions, but something does jump out to you, which is you bumped into somebody and you remember literally nothing about that person. You remember other people. You remember you bumped into an older woman that looked really irritated at you for bumping into her. You walked by a couple people that were talking very loudly, and then you bumped into somebody, and all feature has been erased.
So there was an older lady. I bumped into her, and she was perturbed, and like I swear she'd be one of those "get off my lawn" kind of people. That's gonna be her if it's not already.
There's nothing
But
wrong
either
with
way,
that.
I get it. Yeah, see, ha ha ha. And either way, her. There's a couple other people that I passed that were talking. I did bump into somebody else.
Okay.
tell?
That's all I got.
Okay, so
I
Mhm.
know that I bumped into someone else.
Do you remember
Nothing.
this someone else?
Nope.
Huh.
That happens sometimes with me from time to time. Yeah.
I will go ahead and give to the four of you, as you've been talking to Liv for the past several minutes, you're getting a sense of her communication style. There's a lot of detail in her communication style. I would say that for the majority of you, with your perception levels that they're at, it does stand out that for all the detail Liv has given you about every little thing that has ever possibly come up in conversation, there is suddenly just someone that she doesn't remember anything about at all.
They have been
Cool.
covering their tracks.
yeah, that's what I say.
I hate whoever this is. I hate them.
They're thorough and boring.
And unfortunately, this is a perfect time for me to remind the group. I don't remember which one of you it was at this point. Real life, it has been quite some time, which is why I need to remind. You remember to check the phone that was being used to track the magical signature, and that spell has run its course. It is back to a now less functional than previously phone.
I think that was Lori's phone, but yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, it's only been a few minutes, and Liv here is gonna walk us through her day. Doubt our perp could have gotten that far away, right?
Hopefully.
Hmm.
Do you remember vaguely where you bumped into person?
No.
Between, I'm gonna say somewhere not here and not my workshop.
I hate mind mages.
That was vague. Yeah. So, but it was,
give it
but it
to
was
you.
after. It was today, right? At some point,
It was today. It was
theoretically.
once you left your house or your
Yeah.
workstation.
I'm about 86% sure it was today. Wait, what is today?
The date.
It is
Blah.
today was the last game.
That was
Yes.
that was
Like-
Valente saying the date.
Okay. And does that is it a Tuesday? I don't have my calendar in front of me. See?
I think it's a Wednesday.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So that bumps it up to about 6% sure it was today.
Well, we
So-
3%. All right.
So let's retrace your daily steps and see if there's any suspicious residue anywhere on that path.
Okay. Well, then I guess we should go back to my workshop and start there. And yeah, that's what we can do. I got nothing
Somewhere
else. I
between
don't know.
there and your regular coffee shop.
I mean, well, I didn't clearly I don't have coffee, so I didn't stop at my coffee shop.
But you were headed to your coffee shop.
And I'm about 86% sure that I went in a straight path, that I didn't veer off and do anything else. There's no circles or anything. Just
And to that effect, since Valente mentioned that he was pushing for the walking and talking, Liv, the more that you walk back towards your workstation, like pieces are filling back in. You're walking the exact path that you took to get here.
yeah. So 98% sure. You never want to be 100%, like, because there's always a possibility that you've got that smidgen that you're just going to be wrong every fucking time. So never go 100%. But you know, 98% sure is as good as you're going to get with from 100%. So yeah, I think that we're doing this makes sense. This feels so right.
And
I don't count for human error, but very human matter, shall we?
if you
We
all would like to
shall.
make me perception and awareness checks on this walk, now that you are a bit more sure that this is the path to take, it'll save you from going all the way back to her workshop and then walking it all over again.
Standard difficulty.
Standard difficulty. Actually, 7 instead of 6.
Okay. Oh wow! I gotta take a
Perception,
photo
awareness.
of this.
3 successes on a crit.
Okay. And make sure people, if you rolled a 1 in your dice pool, that subtracts from the number of successes. But okay, 3 successes.
1, 2, 6 is a success.
7 for this one.
Fuck. Then 1 success because I rolled a 1.
1 success.
I get
5 success.
3
5
tens and a 1.
So 2 successes.
I'm spending too
Unbelievable.
much time actually listening to Olivia
Very fair.
wholeheartedly.
And Liv, did you make a roll?
Oh, I did not.
You don't have to. It is an entirely optional roll.
Okay, yeah, I don't think that I'm talking.
That's understandable. You were not seeking this person out the way that these 4 were. As you walk, you're not seeing anything that looked like what you saw on the camera, that already nondescript image from the security footage. You're not seeing it around here. And as you walk back towards Liv's office space, which is just as good a place as any to regroup, you don't see a person. You don't have your magical tracker. You don't have any evidence to go on. You're going to need to put your heads together and figure out, how do you find somebody that is doing everything in their power to not exist? And I'm going to let you ponder on that as we take a break. We'll be back momentarily with the next half of this story.
Ding, ding, ding.
And welcome back. For those of you that are just tuning in, there's an entire first part to watch of this series, as well as the first part of this episode. Just previously, 4 of our mages encountered a 5th, who was operating under the control of the very mage they are trying to find. After some brief and creative combat, she was awakened from her controlled state, and they began to retrace her steps through the day, attempting to find their target. Unfortunately, they have found themselves at a loss as they've finally arrived at Liv's workshop, the end of her journey for the day. No target in sight. Liv, you are at your workshop with 4 new friends, question mark?
Did we sign the
Okay.
NDAs before we came in here?
We're not inside yet.
Oh.
We're at the door. Okay. You get like 2 minutes. I swear they're just right inside the door. I'm just gonna go grab those real quick and just it's like 2 minutes, just the standard NDA. And so she's just gonna like crack the door open just enough for her to squeeze through and then shut it again. And then if anybody is listening, they're gonna hear her, oh my god, where the fuck are they? They're here somewhere, and she's just paper and stuff being thrown around and everything. Ha! And then she'll come back out and she's like, open the door, like, all right, told you I had them. Here you go. And you guys will just sign right here. It's a standard NDA that you're just not gonna say a word about what you see in here. And yeah.
Valente's like,
and
you just keep NDAs near your door.
This isn't a fairy contract, is it?
Oh gosh, Joni, my mother
Yeah,
will
I don't-
never forgive me.
No,
I don't think we're
no,
going into the
no.
music industry. So
As you all look over this NDA with its very specific non-compete clauses, you all notice a symbol embossed in one corner. It is a very Masonic-looking symbol, which all 4 of you would immediately identify as the Society of Ether, which gives you a bit of insight into who this particular
That makes
mage of
sense.
yours is.
Explains a lot. Just to be safe, because look, my mother was Fae. I'm familiar with contracts and how to get out of them. I'm gonna sign with my non-dominant hand, just to say I didn't sign it my own hand. Can't be valid.
I'm gonna do the same.
As long as it is valid in a court of law, I don't really care which hand you sign. Sign it with your teeth if you want to. I don't care.
I just like peek into my purse. Hey, donuts, you think you're gonna have to sign, or are you gonna yap about it? Just.
Liv, you see a very, very tiny prehistoric creature just poking its snout out of Lori's purse before dipping its head back in.
Can anybody else understand what that thing says? It's cute, but anybody else other than you can they understand what it says? Like, can it write? Can it do anything?
Lori generally
just
takes care of
let's
that. Just feed
go
it
ahead
sausages and
and
it'll shut up.
we're just gonna go ahead just to be safe. If it can sign, just right here too. That would
It
be
can sign.
great.
Him.
that-
Let's be polite. Hey,
Him,
donuts.
sorry.
Signature. You heard her. Yeah, he'll just
Just-
like take out his little nubbin, dip it in ink.
Slap.
The paw
Alright.
print.
It's more of a slap.
You may enter. And she opens the door wide and lets them enter. Like, welcome to my room.
I would like
And-
to use my arcane to not actually sign the NDA.
Okay.
I do not care about this.
It is not noticed by Liv with the level of arcane that you have that you did not sign. I think you just drew a straight line across the page and that's just enough.
Works for me.
You walk in, Lori. This place looks in theory similar to your lab, but in the sense of just you see a lot of things that you can immediately tell are like directly connected to Liv's study. It's a magical version of your scientific lab. It feels familiar but also out of place.
Yeah, there's gonna be like candles and steam engines everywhere and lots of gears and stuff going on and lots of noises and stuff. And she's like, all right, yeah, so this is where I've been working on some of my little projects. I've got a few. That's where I created the ray gun. See right there. You can see next to there's some singe spots at various different levels of singiness. It was a work in progress. But hey, nothing major. Like no fires or more or less no fires.
Liv, do you have a chair?
Probably.
I probably have a stool.
Yeah, this seems like more of a stool type area.
I'm pretty sure that I have a stool somewhere that's not taken apart. I take things apart when I need parts.
As soon as you ask, Arthur Old Man sits in the chair.
God fucking.
And she's gonna go over and she's just gonna be like, okay, oh, and this is the time machine area right here. And something kind of like she'll stop for a second and she'll just kind of look and like scratch her hat instead of her head. Now that I think about it, and she'll point like to a part next to this weird contraption that doesn't make any sense. But there's an hourglass in it, so that's important. And she's just gonna be like, you're looking for somebody. I may know someone. I think I might know a guy that could help out with whatever you're with this whole looking for somebody thing, because it's the person that I go to when I need a specific, component and I can't find it myself, and really good at finding things. So
for the four of you, at the moment, that's the best lead that you might have, but it involves you trusting somebody that you've just met. I leave it up to each of you to determine how you feel about that, if you think you wanted to pursue other avenues or whatnot, but you don't have any lead at the moment.
We have one
You
lead.
kids have any other ideas?
I mean, I wanted to. Valente's kind of like sitting against the wall, keeping his eyes closed because he's trying to meditate, but he's also talking. We could always ask we could stake out the coffee shop, because obviously whoever this is goes there frequently. I don't think they work there because that wouldn't make any sense. But I was thinking about how all of these people were on their way to go get coffee, a place that they go to frequently, and that is when their directives kick in. Like, no, I'm sorry to invade your mental privacy, but I did see your surface thoughts, and you were just like, it felt very logical, even though it was kind of not how your brain works. But your brain was connecting it like it was how your brain works. So there's that. And the ghost was the same way. He was just like, this is just what I was doing. I didn't even think about it. And
Could be a
so
hunting
there
grounds
seems
for
to
our
be-
perpetrator.
There seemed to be some sort of familiarity with what the people do. You knew that one of them was a bank teller. You seemed to know that one of them was a mage. I don't know what he knew about the bank robber.
he did. Well, the bank robber didn't even own a gun. Maybe there's a touch component as well. Like you have to also like be going to the thing, but also, or maybe that's where he's hanging out. Like they wait for them near the coffee shop, and then that's where they tap them.
Could be
I don't know.
implanted before that, and then just when they get to the coffee shop, that's when they trigger whatever it is.
So just to be clear, we're not gonna talk to my guy.
I mean, I'm not against the idea.
We're just trying to exhaust all options before we trust the person who blasted us with a Plasma pistol.
Plus, we're in a pretty tight line. Don't
It's
want a mind control mage
ray
running
gun.
around.
It's a ray gun.
It's a ray gun.
Do you know how he finds things or people? I don't know why I asked. Of course you don't.
A don't ask, don't tell kind of policy. You don't want to ask where or how he acquires things that you need, because then you're culpable for that particular thing. So, like, yeah.
I mean, let's think of it like a scientific process. Our perpetrator clearly finds his selections at a coffee shop, or they're drawn to a coffee shop. He
We could
clearly
just go
controlled
stake out a
Liv.
bunch of banks and see what happens, since you said that they're a bank robber.
There's at least 3 Banks of America on this block alone. But I'm thinking, Liv, if you're not opposed, we have you walk back to the coffee shop, take your usual route. We all remain hidden, or at least out of whatever senses he's using. He tries to take over your mind or direct you to do something else. We spring.
And we could do this while we ask the. I mean, if you think it'll be helpful, if you ask a guy, whoever this a guy is, I mean, he would have to take. It would take time for him to find whoever or whatever we're looking for. So
He has a name. I don't know what the name is, because he literally likes to be called the guy you know, because it's some kind of like funny ha ha ha, I know a guy kind of deal. So, but yeah.
So he's French.
That would be Guy.
Yeah, probably.
I never thought to ask. Never really thought about it either. Maybe. I don't know.
how about yes, but also yes, and he points to like Lori and Liv. Both. Both?
Both is good.
Meanwhile,
So what's the plan?
I think we're gonna have Olivia call the guy. And if he can get it done today / in a few hours, he can meet us at the coffee shop? Question mark.
Two birds,
Where
one
we-
stone.
Where Olivia will retrace her steps to after making this call, and we will do some kind of staking out of the venue.
Okay.
And then before we leave, Liv, do you have any small wearable trinkets, preferably 5 of them?
You have
5.
so many of those.
I have more than 5 trinkets.
Well, I just need 5.
Okay, all right. Well, that wall over there. Hold on. Yeah, you're good. That wall over there, you can take whatever you want from that, and then just that's it. Just that wall over there. I don't need anything out of that wall. So like anything else in here, don't. It's got uses, but that wall is the rainy day wall.
The tiny wall of tiny tchotchkes. I would like to make them into temporary, if I can, kind of take 5 little objects and imbue them with a little prime, a little quintessence to kind of like help with mind shielding for everybody.
Interesting. Let me take a quick look.
Oh, that's smart.
At Prime 3, you can craft temporary wonders.
That's what it's called.
Yes. So you could craft temporary talismans or devices by imbuing them with primal force.
That's
To
basically
do that, let
uh-huh.
me see. Just taking a quick look. Yeah, you would craft some sort of a trinket, uh, in this case, to consecrate it, and it would need to involve the sphere that you want to affect, which in this case would be mind. So you'd be using prime plus mind to craft a trinket to help temporarily shield or help protect from mind manipulation.
And I go over to Arthur and I'm like, "Can I borrow a needle? I know you have a needle."
You're very presumptuous asking. He reaches into his coat, pulls out a needle.
Um,
It's clean. It's in the wraps.
that's good. I'm going to take my own finger, stab it, and kind of use that as the the focus to kind of help make these. Um, should I use your blood or my own blood? Or is it I guess it's fine if I use my own blood. Less unhygienic that way. Um, and I make 5 uh help me not get mind controlled doodads and gigas.
Okay. Okay. I'll you're going to roll for this. I will tell you ahead of time. To do this, you are going to have to spend quintessence to infuse them with the item.
Yeah.
If you do not have enough quintessence for this, you can perform this as a ritual with somebody else who has prime that might be willing to split the cost of quintessence with you.
Hey there.
Um,
Guess who's got a bit of prime and is willing to charge a few magical batteries?
oh, that would be better than me asking the avatar to do it. So, how much quintessence do you have? I have 4. I could do it myself. I just would
I've
Well, you
prefer
got
can't
not
one
do
to.
all
dot.
5.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
I've got one dot, so I
Abby,
can contribute that much.
Yeah.
as far as your quintessence, Abby, you have more. You have more than enough to contribute to this.
Oh
The two of you
yeah.
could split this easily.
I'll do 2 for my avatar, 2 for myself, and 1 from Lori.
Actually,
That
make
sound
that 2
good?
for me because I've
Oh,
got
okay.
Okay.
quite a bit to spare. Actually, I was looking at the wrong stat because I'm silly.
Oh, then I
So
will just
we'll do 3 from Valente and 2 from Lori.
yes. Do
All right.
that.
So doing this as a ritual is going to reduce the difficulty down, and uh, using a personalized instrument is going to reduce the difficulty down as well. We are going to call this vulgar no witnesses, though. Again, you are infusing objects with magical ability, and unfortunately, despite this being her workshop, this is not Liv's sanctum or laboratory. So this is going to be a difficulty of 5 after I math everything out. You are both going to take 1 point of paradox as you perform this ritual. Valente, please roll your Arte, unless you would like Lori to roll the Arte instead.
Um, I'll roll it. It's fine.
Okay.
Should have enough. Ooh, that's not good. It's 1. That's 1 success. No
1
ones
success.
though.
No ones?
Is this your first time doing this?
I don't usually make 5.
That's all right. That's okay. 1 success is just fine. You
Oh,
with the
okay.
quintessence infused, you are able to charge these small little trinkets uh, with enough to shield the mind from direct influence. You're pretty sure they could each do at least once. So a direct attack on the mind would be blocked and alert them that this happened.
Yeah, after that you're on your own.
Correct, but it does give more of a heads up than any of you have had before.
Uh, and he starts explaining that. So I don't think these would help with anything beyond just the 1. But, at least he can't sneak up on us with his, I don't know, undercover directives. I wish I could give you 2, he says to Liv. Um, And so you all have one slightly bloodstained Giga to put in a pocket.
That is true. While Valente was doing that, Liv, what did you do in terms of contacting the guy you know?
Little
You
trinket
had-
in here.
Hmm?
Okay. I contacting the guy that I know. We don't necessarily use conventional means. So if anybody that is watching, she's literally gonna pull like out a compact and press on the compact that has nothing in it. It's just a compact and press in certain like pattern, like a pattern type kind of deal, and then hold it up like a phone.
Yes, which you are able to do because this was made for you to do the thing that it is trying to do. You hear the distorted voice on the other end of the line. Yes?
Hey, so I have some friends, and there's a person that they're looking for, and they can't find this person, and I'm kind of looking for this person too. Anyway, any chance that you can meet at the shop, like the coffee shop that I like so much, the one right down the street from like the workshop, that one. With the kind of really salty barista lady, the one that doesn't like me at all, and we've talked about her before. But either way, can you meet there? I think that and see if maybe you can help us find this person.
You need help finding someone.
Yeah.
I'll be there shortly. And you hear a disconnecting tone on the end of the compact, which has always felt a
Awesome.
little weird to you in the first place, but there it is.
Alright, yeah. The guy's gonna meet us at the coffee shop.
Cool. I guess we should go. Oh, so did I heal?
You know what? Actually,
I-
I'd say with I think you each would have enough time to heal the one damage, because it's a very low level of damage.
Yeah, I
And
was
you
only
all have
bruised.
you all either have. Let me check. Yeah, you all either have prime or life or both in
Yeah,
your
just
repertoire.
bruised
So
over here.
I'd say you'd be able to heal it up pretty quickly. Not able to reduce the paradox that you accrued though. That takes a lot longer.
Yeah, I want to go home. But now I'm at Paradox 3 and Quintessence 1. I'm not doing too hot.
You can manage.
Actually,
be
one of those
fine.
was from my avatar, so I'm at Quintessence 2.
All right. So you have a guy to meet, and you are armed with your thought detection protections. Is there anything else you'd like to do before you head out that way?
I don't think so.
We're
Unless
gonna
somebody
want to
else-
stay hidden, actually. I got an idea. Time for some fey bullshit. We don't want to
Okay.
be seen by this guy. However, I can't just magic everyone invisible. Not without a lot of effort on my part. But I know how to bypass that. Hey, Liv, you got a big sheet, canvas, tarp, something like that?
Yeah, actually, there is a closet. What is
Great!
closet?
I
Not
just
really
head right
closet,
over to the
it's
closet.
over there.
I'm just going to take the biggest tarp I can find, and I am going to use one of my backgrounds with, not background, I'm going to use one of my little, god damn it, where is it? Sorry about that. One of my rotes, hidden form, make a thing invisible. And I'm going to make a big old tarp invisible so we can all hide under it and jump out once this Shadow Wizard Money Gang guy shows up.
Absolutely. And because of your merit that you are using this in conjunction with, this is a paradox-free ability.
Wow.
Wow.
I'm actually going to like come out like wearing it, invisible, then just like pop my head out, be like, cover. We're good.
Can I
Oh,
use
it's like that book that the kids read,
Oh
can I
god, no, not anymore.
the Bible.
Can
Oh,
I use
definitely not.
can I use my lore stat to be like, do I know what the fuck is happening here? Or am I just
Um,
like, or is she just the greatest mage of all time?
I mean,
I
I've been
will.
pretty open with my mom's like a fae. Like my mom's a satyr. You could probably
Holy
expect
shit.
that from her.
I will say she did just say not too terribly long ago, my mother is Fae when signing the contract. You may have dismissed it at the time, but now just suddenly popping up with a sheet that she turned invisible makes you wonder like, it is this magic or is this something more?
The world is such a beautiful place.
Nature.
Right.
All right,
You're
gang.
all going to bundle up under the invisible cloak and walk down to the coffee shop.
Yeah.
Just following.
Okay. You you walk and walk. Uh, it's rather easy to get there unimpeded, and you arrive at this corner coffee shop. It has a couple of steps. It's a brick building, has a couple steps down inside. Just a wide, like almost semicircular interior with the coffee bar towards the back end of the curve, and booths and tables scattered all about. Uh, are you going inside?
I am.
I don't know if
I'm
we'd be
getting
able.
coffee.
Yeah, I don't know if we'd be able to negotiate it with like four of us all huddled and like.
An invisible cloak.
Yeah.
All right.
Uh,
So Liv is going to go inside, but what about anybody
yeah.
else?
When Liv goes inside, I'm gonna try to get everyone to kind of come in behind her without fucking with the door, so it doesn't seem like the door is just opening magically.
You know, that's fair. And I think if you go in right behind Liv, even if it takes a while for it to close, it makes sense. So Liv does suddenly appear out of thin air, but nobody's outside of the coffee shop at the moment. Uh, Opens the door, walks in, and Valente is suddenly like hustling you all behind her as you all just shuffle invisibly into the coffee shop. And Liv, you look around, and your guy is already there.
Oh, oh, wonderful. Does he have a drink in front of him by any chance or anything?
He does.
Oh, okay. All right. I'm just gonna like, barista, a quadruple shot caramel macchiato with extra caramel and some syrup stuff on the inside of the cup and whipped cream. Yeah. Thank you, please.
And the barista rolls her eyes at being addressed as barista and in a very like announced fashion, but does start making the drink because she knows that you do at least pay. Do you make any gesture towards your guy or go over to your guy for the four that have no idea what they're looking for?
I'm gonna just kind of look over at him and be like, and as soon as I get my coffee, I'm gonna have it with both hands and just like a gremlin, just walk over.
Okay. The four of you
Is there
watch.
anyone that can like readjust her coffee so that there's no caffeine in it?
It is not alive.
Shit.
I can just some molecules. I can mess around with it. Give me just
I'm
a
like
second.
drinking. I'm downing it.
Never mind. You know what?
Oh, shit,
I'll
too
just
late.
look. I can alter with her blood later. Let's just get through this. Catch our mind
All right.
bender.
Give me just 1 second. I have a roll to make.
Stands ominously next to their table
Yeah.
as an invisible.
All right. So
group.
the four of you huddle over, walk over, to follow Liv over to the table as she sits down. And she sits down in front of a man with closely cropped hair, a black suit, white shirt, black tie, and mildly reflected sunglasses on him. He has no discernible markings or features on him whatsoever. He is the most nondescript individual that you have ever seen in your life. And Lori, due to your affiliation, and Dr. Washington, due to your experience, you know exactly, not exactly, but you know who this man is. You do not know his name, but somebody known to a mage that looks like this could only belong to the group known as the New World Order of the technocracy. And he nods to Liv, and based off the roll I did, he nods to Liv, says, "Glad you could make it." And his head pivots towards the four of you. And he says, "Will you be joining us today?"
Not visibly.
Let's all head to the bathroom so we don't cause some
Mild
vulgar
panic.
paradox. Yeah. Let's like
he does nod when Dr. Washington says "not visibly" and just turns his attention back to Liv. That seems a standard thing for him. You are welcome you are welcome to go and reappear if you wish, but he has accepted
Liv
this.
just kind of giggle snorts. She's like, I didn't tell them because I thought this would be hilarious. And it was.
We signed an NDA.
That sounds standard.
Do we know
So-
what he is?
Two of you don't, two of you do.
No, that was Valente out loud.
Okay.
Mm.
Yeah,
He's the
a
guy I know.
He's a member of the New World Order. Do you know anything about him, baby genius?
The wrestlers?
What?
No, the wrestlers, New World Order, NWO. They I don't know, wrestling thing back in the 90s. It was weird.
No, he's wearing a suit. He's not a muscular tan man.
Not yet.
I mean, he could be tan under the suit. Who knows?
seeing tanning patterns, but look, can't blame us for taking precautions.
No, of course not. So, Olivia here tells me that you are looking for somebody, and he is just looking down, swirling his coffee, and doing everything in his power to look like he is just having a conversation with the woman in front of him and not the four of you. Very well, I might add. Seems, as I mentioned, standard.
Should we crouch? Crouching.
No. There is a awakened, I will say, who is taking to commandeering people's minds, like your friend here, and robbing banks.
Robbing banks.
Vulgarly, might I add.
Banks, plural, you said?
Well, bank, but I'm sure it'll be banks, plural, soon.
He's
Well,
either
that actually
really
does-
instinctual or good at covering his tracks because Liv here doesn't remember anything about him.
No, and I did actively try to, move them out of my way. And
I do know how you move people out of your way. Of course. So I am curious. I'm curious if your instinct is onto something. Could you tell me a bit about the bank in particular that you experienced?
There
A
was,
man who... Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
A man who doesn't own a gun held the bank by gunpoint and then shot himself, while a bank teller pulled money out of the register in the horror of a man shooting himself. The blood of hanging in the air, by the way. And then turned off all the cameras while she walked out one of the back doors, threw a trash bag full of money to another guy who just took the trash bag, who was waiting outside, took the trash bag and left.
Interesting. Okay, and he immediately reaches down to and pulls up from a briefcase that none of you noticed was there, a very thin laptop that he opens up, and he starts typing. Anybody that looks close enough will notice that he has not turned on the laptop. He has not opened up anything, but he starts typing and the screen starts to glow. And I must make a roll because I'm going to be fair and make him actually do the work.
Yeah, do the
With three
magic
success,
work.
yep, with three successes. With three successes, he says, "All right. Well, I have found traces of at least 4 separate events that match a similar description. None of them had the blunt paradox of blood suspended in the air, but I'm seeing a pattern of people who were caught emptying valuables from their place of business while something happened that caused
But
a distraction.
what's the time frame on these incidents?
I'm looking at 2 weeks ago for 2 of them, 1 week ago for 1 of them, and then the last one is your bank. This
Is
one seems to be the only one where somebody died.
is the so all of at this bank and our friend here, all of them have enjoyed going to this particular coffee shop.
That I'm not quite able to determine by myself. There's no direct evidence of that, but are you trying to sort that out? Or does that seem to be a pattern that you've determined?
We believe that all 3 people that we've found were affected on the way to this coffee shop.
I see.
I thought it was the barista.
It's
I
not
don't
the
think it's-
barista.
Could be.
Liv, she is a sleeper. I've told you this multiple times before. I don't care
She's so
how she makes her
mean
coffee.
every time I tell her she always gives me one less shot, and she doesn't ever put the syrup on there. That's like, and it's not even extra whipped cream. It's just a little bit, and then she sneers at me.
That
She's
is not a
doing
sign
you a
of you.
favor.
That is not a sign of magic. That is a sign of laziness.
It also sounds like
spell
you
my
might
name
order
right.
too much.
So what you're saying is not all mages are assholes, but a lot of the mages are assholes?
Don't drink
It's a
to
pattern.
that.
I'm having, I said, I'm what I'm seeing here. A couple of these places are not nearby this coffee shop, though they are still on this side of town. As far as tracing steps of people, that is a bit outside of my wheelhouse. I don't suppose any of you are. I hate to ask it. I don't suppose any of you are time affiliated.
I just nudge Jonathan.
Yeah, I've got some of that.
Wonderful. Then let's. I'm going to need you to work with me then, which means you're going to have to come out from under that blanket so that I can see what these people were up to. Maybe I can narrow it down to help you find the individual you're looking for.
All right, to the washroom, I guess.
To the wash closet.
And the 4 of you shuffle
Scooch.
your way over
That's like
to a
Jackass
bathroom.
with the people horse costume.
And out of curiosity, do all of you come back out uncovered, or do you just let Jonathan out?
I'm just letting Jonathan out. Everybody else
Okay.
is welcome to.
I'll stay just in case. You never know, we need someone invisible.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm staying under. I don't know what other sleeper agents this mind mage got, and I ain't trying to find out.
Very well.
All right, so I'll scooch out from underneath the blanket of invisibility.
Absolutely. All right, so You walk back over, and this man has already pulled up a chair next to him. He says, "Please sit." And as you said, he pivots the laptop so that you can see, and you just see a faint glowing deep blue, but you don't see anything physically on there yet. He says, I'm going to run this. I'm going to run the statistics, run the patterns, and I need you to focus on the timeline of events.
All right.
And I will roll for him.
Do I roll anything?
If I'm going to let you roll to increase the number of successes potentially off of what he just rolled.
Okay.
I would like for you to roll. Let me take a look at your sheet. Please roll for me your manipulation and esoterica.
Okay, 4 days.
As you were attempting to force magic into a technological capacity.
That is a 6, 2 8s, and a 3.
6, 2 8s, and a 3. That is 3 successes, so that will be enough to grant additional successes onto this roll. As you look at the blank screen, you feel a strange connection happen between you and the agent sitting next to you. Images start to appear on the screen, visible only to you, and you see timelines of events popping up. You watch as a bank teller is in reverse, is putting money back from emptying it, as out on the floor it seems that a man is dressed up as a clown trying to perform for everybody and distracting everybody, much to the chagrin of the security guards. You follow her backwards out as she comes into this coffee shop for a bit and then exits back out again, and then you see again somewhere else as a man in a suit is it again. This is reverse, so he's putting things back that he has taken, valuable things that he has taken from this business that he works at. You're not sure what it is. This is a bit above your or outside of your social circles, but it looks like it's important. And you see him treading backwards, and he goes to not this coffee shop, but he goes to a different one, a more like national corporate chain one, and is walking backwards. And you're seeing these similar patterns where like everybody is stopping somewhere between where they came from and where they're going. And as you focus with the additional successes, as you focus and you slow it down and sort of walk it back and forth, you see each of them encounter somebody matching the description of what you saw on the camera. You still cannot see this man's face, as it seems that the agent is specifically using camera feeds from businesses and city cameras to feed the visuals. But they all encounter this same person, and they either bump into him, talk with him, some sort of interaction with him.
Yo, that's him.
All right. Well, the good news is that it looks like he doesn't have a wide wardrobe to operate on. So I can keep a tag on this to see if we find anybody that matches that description out and about. Will that suffice, or do you need something more immediate?
I think we're kind of leaning towards getting this immediately done.
Do any of
Wow.
you have? Do any of you
Oh,
have? Are any of you life inclined?
I have a bit.
Sorta,
Yes.
kinda.
Lori.
I have
Yeah.
to come out from under here and interact.
The one or ones of you that are the most life inclined will need to work with me on this if you're trying to follow somebody in real time.
I'll begrudgingly come out from under,
Are you sneaking back or are you just stepping right out?
sneaking back.
We're,
Okay.
Everybody
Just
we all
scooches
have to go
outward.
back to the
Get back to the
bathroom.
bathroom, guys.
Back to the
It's
bathroom.
it's
I'll
worth
get
the
up.
ask.
I'll get up
You
and
start.
wander over to the bathroom and push the door
Okay.
open so that everybody can like scooch.
Nice. Do you get back under the blanket or do you just hang out?
I'm
Just
just gonna
curiosity.
hang out at this point.
Yeah, you don't
Okay.
need to make a third trip.
All right. So, Lori, you walk back, and this agent gestures to the seat that has been vacated by Jonathan.
Alrighty.
And he looks to you and goes, "You feel different than the others. Are you one of us?"
Formerly,
Formerly.
I didn't quite
Well,
agree with the method of science that was going on.
well, at least you still agree on the science part of it.
Of
Steve,
course.
it's the only reason I actually get along with Olivia here. No offense, Olivia. You are a brilliant mind, but you still are a bit more fantastical leaning for my tastes.
Whimsy. She's
But
got whimsy
It is
about
what
her.
it is.
at least you apply it in a more palatable fashion for the public. We're we're not going to keep Paradox under control if we keep doing ridiculous magic tricks for everybody all the time. All
But I
right.
was saying, yes,
Right. Have do you have the ability to focus on an individual while I track them?
my
Do you think
dots
we
and
can work that out?
correspondence in life. Sure. So Lori just
Excellent.
nods in the affirmative.
Excellent. I need you to focus on this individual. Any other traces that you may have had of them as you come, and we're going to see if we can get some sort of real-time tracking on them to narrow it down in the city. Life is not exactly my area of expertise.
Good
Shall
thing
we?
you know me then. Just a second. Liv, can I have a sip of that concoction there? I'm gonna need every cell in me at full capacity.
Okay.
I'll just take a sip of her highly caffeinated sugary beverage and then tune in.
All right.
I'm gonna need another
I'll
one.
put up my hair as I do so, using my
Excellent.
clock net.
As the highest dots of spheres in use are going to match between you and the agent, would you like to make the roll or should I? No, we'll go ahead and pause for a moment.
I would like to. Let me impress my former colleagues.
Mm,
Okay,
All right.
stabilize. So sorry about that.
No,
It just
no
gave
worries.
me
All
the
right, so,
you're not unstable. I'm like, no shit. Repeat that
no
one.
worries. We'll pick
Yeah,
back
from
up
the top.
with that. As the number of dots for the highest sphere match between you and the agent, would you like to roll or should I?
We don't have any little Sombra in this game to blame it on.
Just
I
Arizona
mean, am
Internet.
I really gonna give up a chance? God damn it.
Hold with it for a moment.
Yeah, give me just sorry.
No
I
worries.
don't know what's going on. Let me see if I can switch
Yeah,
the
stop the
5G.
recording so we can kick back in. Yeah, because it looks like it's fucked up again.
Yeah.
Oh my. Oh my. You can do it.
I hear you, but I don't see your mouth moving.
Here we go.
Yep, it's taken a second. I'm gonna rejoin real quick. I am so sorry about the fuckery.
No
Yeah,
worries.
no
We'll
worries.
make it work. We're coming close. We're coming up close to an ending point as well. So yeah, we'll get that sorted. We'll do the magic. We'll send you guys where you're supposed to be, and we'll see what happens.
Oh shit, looks like we stabilized. Okay.
Okay, great.
Third
Alright.
time from the top. Third time's the charm.
Yep.
Here we go.
Give one more go.
And recording.
So, Lori, the number of dots that are in your highest sphere match the number of dots as the agent. Would you like to make this roll, or shall I?
I mean, I want a chance to show off to my former colleagues. I'll take the role.
Absolutely. So you're going to go ahead and you're going to roll your arete at a difficulty of 7 minus, I believe coffee and putting your hair up are part of your instrumentation. So we're going to drop that down to a difficulty of 5.
So I've got good news. I rolled a critical.
Okay.
I hit exactly 5, but I did roll a 1 in there.
So that'll drop it down. Did you only roll one success?
1 success as in...
So you rolled a 1, but you also rolled an over a 5.
Yes, over a 5, but with the critical. Like, if we're going by... I'm not sure old World of Darkness rules here, but...
How many successes total did you roll?
5 successes total with the subtraction of 1. But
Okay,
those successes
that's
were under a
perfectly
crit.
fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's perfectly fine. All right, that's more than enough. And you focus on this agent's computer, the glowing dark blue again, and then it starts to light up for you. But for you, it has a different look than the security cameras. It manifests itself almost like a game. It very much gives you the feeling of The Sims, of that top-down view of a city and people in it. You see a little diamond over a man dressed the way that you saw on the camera footage. And you're following this little avatar in the game sense, not in the mage sense. As he walks through the city, you watch him interact with people. It's highly gesturized as he sends them to go do something. One person walks away from him, comes back with car keys and hands it to him, and he gets in the car and drives it through the city. It looked like that car was not his. But you're finally able to pinpoint a set of apartments that are part of they're part of an outdoor like mall, which is like a live work play area. And he just drops the car off and goes upstairs, and you get the cutout view of the apartment building as he goes on up, and you're able to follow this man, like live tracking of where he is going.
I think I've got my hands laid on the laptop. It's very, as our lovely Jamar would say, it's very woo-woo. It's probably the most woo-woo that Lori has ever been in her whole life. And she just very in a monotone voice starts listing out the address, the apartment number. And he's there right now.
All right. Well then, I'd say that you should probably make haste. Good job.
Thanks. By the way.
Good work, kid.
Oh, shucks. By the way, it's nice meeting a member of our organization, or shall I say former organization, that isn't totally up their own ass.
Well, we are in our own way, aren't we?
No, I am up my own ass.
All right, let's get going. I know what he looks like, but he's probably not going to be there for long. Stole a car. I don't remember the license plate, but it was the most obnoxious green. Let's get going.
All right.
God,
Do you
Olivia,
all?
is this what you feel like all the time? Every molecule in me is trembling. Jesus Christ.
It
She
really
did order a
makes
quad.
things so clear.
Liv,
it's
do
like
you have a
you're-
car?
It's like you're thinking in like high speed. Like it's great.
It's painful.
Car. Just ignore the heart how like it's fine. It'll go away. I don't. I don't really travel around like too far, so I don't really need one. If I do travel around somewhere really far, then that's where you get like cabs or Ubers or the train or something like that. Like there's public transportation. Why do I need to spend money and get a fucking car? Like really? And soon I will have completed my
Time travel. Yeah, we know. We know.
Yeah, I should
and
say
I
all this.
really
I'm
don't
typing up an
need-
Uber. I'm getting us a big car, luxury, and I just look at like, yeah, I'm gonna say who owes me, but Jonathan, Jonathan, you owe me money. I'm just like, then owe me like $50 later. I'm getting us an Uber.
Oh, yeah. Doc, you got any cash on you?
I just
What?
pay it. I just pay it.
In perpetual debt.
It's
It's
just
fine.
Right.
Now
it's
you owe
just the
me
way
$50.
this mage group just goes.
Liv will look at the guy and she'll just be like, making really good progress on that device. Before you know it, we're totally gonna be able to go travel through time and then dimensions. And it won't be a problem.
You do realize that even in the technocratic sense, you can travel dimensions now.
But
It does help to have something a bit more mechanical to justify it. And as Miss Pierce here is a publicly known inventor, it suits the narrative.
Of course.
I just walk out.
nobody
They're a
wants
new
I can't.
ouch and paradox
All right,
stuff.
all right's here. No, donuts. No, we can't just bring
How did-
benzene right now. We have to wait.
The
Nice
bag is
speaking,
just
Will.
How
Our
did the
ride's
taxi know
here.
we were here?
The bag is kicking and kicking. Dr. Arthur, what was your question?
How did the taxi know we were here?
Technology. Okay, I'll talk about it in the car, but there's a car. We have a chauffeur, Grandpa, that's waiting for us. Let's go.
Oh, I didn't know you. I thought you were broke.
We all
I got luxury.
technically
There's
sort of are,
there's
yeah.
cold water in there. Let's get
Well,
going.
that's why you're broke. You gotta stop spending all your money on chauffeurs and put
Cold
it towards
water.
your college
Next thing you're gonna
debt.
tell me I can't have avocado toast.
Yeah.
Yep, just pulling him out the door to where our Uber driver is waiting.
She looks at the guy again and she's just like, we'll talk again soon. I have a shopping list. And this is gonna be the one.
All right, so you get into the Uber, punching in the location to go, and heading through the city. It eventually takes you there, and you arrive. Lori, you see that obnoxious green-colored car just parked just on the street in this live, work, play mall area.
Baby puke green.
And you track yourself to the apartment that you saw him go into. How do you all approach this?
All right, everyone got their PPE on? Your thingamajigs?
Yeah.
Wait, you still have that tarp?
Of course I do, and I just like pull it out from my purse, probably flap it out with Donut, who's cuddling in it.
It might not be a bad idea for us not to show our whole hand.
Right. I think actually, let's let Donut scope it out first. He can tell if there's anything weird going on. One little bat-sized pterosaur isn't going to cause as much fuss as 5 very skilled mages.
It's a great idea.
All right, buddy. And I just like pull him out of my bag. I know I interrupted your nap, but I need you to go to that apartment, this number. It looks like this. Tell me what you feel around there. It's very important.
All right.
Zach, you
How
gotta do his
intelligent would you?
voice.
Well, that's what I was about to ask. How intelligent would you describe your companion?
Intelligent about as the average cockatoo, which means clever enough to pay taxes.
Okay. In which case you talk to it, and in a voice only you can hear, Lori, it goes, address.
Yes, address, numbers. You know this. It's like the ones on your feeder, your timed feeder.
Look at address.
Look at address. Tell me how it feels. Come back.
Feel the address. And it just clambers out and heads on up. With that level of intelligence, I'm going to make a roll, not for head. Okay. Actually, that's a different roll. All right. So you watch him go up, and then after a while, actually, I should ask: Are you doing any sort of? Oh, I guess you don't have a mind. You don't have the mind sphere, so you're not really doing a mental connection to him.
Yeah, we're not doing
so
a
you're just gonna
mind
wait for him
link.
just waiting for him to come back.
Yep. Keeping tabs on him, but, I don't want to be in his brain. I don't know where he was during the Cretaceous period.
That is completely understandable. So,
Where were you in
had
Cretaceous period 6?
Can I have a spirit accompany a little guy?
let me see with Spirit
That's
3.
an amazing buddy cop concept.
It's an incredible buddy concept.
Donut Williams and Ghost Cop.
So-
Donut Williams and the Ghost Man.
Level 3, you have the ability to wake spirits up, but you don't have really the ability to bind them to anything in particular.
Well, I'm not trying to I don't think he's on the bind level, but he will. I mean, if there's any nearby ones, can I ask one to just be like, "Do you mind tagging along with this tiny dinosaur?"
Go ahead and roll your RTA. Go and roll your RTA. I will call it coincidental because you're just sort of talking to the air. So difficulty of 6.
Phrases that are only useful in the Mage the Ascension game. Do you mind? I'm going to talk to the spirit. Do you mind tagging along to this little dinosaur?
I rolled a 10 and then a 2 and a 3, so that's one success.
One success. All right. You hear in your ear just a very light, but it moves away from you, and you get the sense that something heard you, and it's going.
Well, that's gonna be as good as it gets. And I just lean over to Lori and was like, hopefully I sent back up. Hopefully.
He'll be fine. He loves Ghost Adventures. It's his favorite show.
You hear in the apartment, you hear a bit of noise before you see Donut wiggle his way out the window and just sort of hop and glide all the way back down to your hand, Lori.
All right, what'd you see? What'd you feel?
He opened a hole.
He opened a hole. Was the hole in him? Was it his hole?
Air hole.
You lied.
Oh, fuck.
Portal?
Oh, I can't understand the dinosaur.
Yep.
Yeah.
The
You just hear, and I'm like, oh, really? Fuck.
Fuck.
He's teleported. He opened up a hole in the air. He's probably using portals to hop around. Regardless, we should check out his apartment. We might have something else we can trace, or maybe even an idea of where he's gone to.
Or we can just wait for him to come back.
He probably knows we're here, which is why he teleported.
I'm just gonna speak out loud to the ghost that might be around. Did you notice anything? Is the portal still open?
You just hear the breath again, as
Very
it did go with the creature and come back as you requested.
well, thank you for watching the dino. You can go back to bed now. Ghosts
So what's the
don't have
plan?
anything useful to say.
Minimum wage ghost.
I don't blame
I
him.
did what you asked me to do.
So are you following Lori's suggestion to go into the apartment, or are you doing something else?
No, we're
Yes.
breaking in. Let's do it.
We're
Let's go.
5
Okay.
mages with a warrant. Let's go, time police.
Okay. How are you getting into the apartment once you get into the building?
Is it locked?
It is.
I will use entropy on the door and it will break.
Love that. Absolutely love that. Go ahead and roll your arete at a
Okay.
difficulty of. Tell me what. Describe how you're going to make it break, and that will determine if it's coincidental or vulgar no witnesses.
I'm just gonna knock on it with my cane.
Okay. That I'll call that coincidental. I think it could be reasonably assumed that you just broke it.
Oh, I'm
So
such
we're
a
gonna
strong old man.
yeah. So we're going to call that, and I think your cane is a unique instrument. So we're going to call that a
Yes.
difficulty of 6. Balances out.
Okay. 3 successes then.
3 successes. So you all walk up, try the doorknob. Dr. Washington picks up his cane and just celebration. I ought to give you paradox for that. He lifts up his cane and just knocks it on the handle, and you watch the handle just disintegrate under the cane. And the door is unlocked and open.
I wonder how much rent is here.
Probably not much. The workmanship is so shoddy.
Make another quick roll. Do you all go in?
Can you yap your way out of paradox?
I would like to
if you
do
just
a-
explain
yeah,
it
I would like to-
afterwards?
I would like to do a thing if we're walking into an unknown place. That I just to be sure. I want to utilize. Can I utilize two routes at once?
No. You can only do one rote at a time because the rote itself is the magical ability because you're using all these spheres together for it. But you can also just make up something that if you want to try to combine these rotes together into something else.
Yeah. So I want to like supercharge the. Let's call it. You can't hide from me, not even in the dark, and
Okay.
do the infrared and ultraviolet ranges.
Okay, that's completely easy. That's completely easy to do. How are you viewing them? Like, what medium are you using to convince the universe that you're just suddenly expanding your senses, such as that?
As far as like what object, I think
Right. Do
that
you have a device? Do you have a device for that? Do you have a tool, an instrument that you're using?
You're a friend of ether. You gotta have some steampunk goggles kicking around somewhere. There you go.
There they are.
There we go.
Perfect. All right. So that is going to be a difficulty of 4. Roll your arete at a difficulty of 4. Actually, no.
got glasses.
You know what? Actually, you know what? If you're using that, that's actually going to reduce it down from 4, and it is such a low difficulty. I'm going to say that you can just do this because
Awesome.
rolling's a bit of a waste of time at that point. So you put on the glasses and you expand into infrared and ultraviolet. You're running the gamut of the frequencies, and you can actually see through the crack in the door. You can see ripples in the air.
Well, that's neat.
And as you
So-
open the door, you can see an outline of where the portal was.
So there's still like some remnants of the thing right there.
Can we see any remnants? Like any
Those of
kind
you
of
with
like scorch mark,
correspondence,
blast mark, or whatever?
no, those of you with correspondence could attempt to, but
I've
the
got
moment,
3
just,
correspondence.
Oh, you got better
Uh,
correspondence than me.
you-
Go ahead.
well, actually, hang on. With both your levels of correspondence, I'd say you'd be able to sense correspondence because that's a very low level. So you can determine the spot where this portal was opened.
Oh yeah,
You don't know
let's
where it
woo-woo
went to,
this.
but you don't know where it went to, but you know that this is where the portal was. So this man definitely escaped through a portal.
Could we, and Valente's gonna say this out loud, could we, theoretically, I don't know, this isn't my area of expertise, but um, if you know where the hole is, we could probably just
Pardon?
reopen it.
Oh,
That makes like a like a wormhole.
Yeah.
Even if one
Uh,
side's closed, it can always be reopened. I'm not good with the time stuff, you know. I'll leave the unscientific universal manipulation to the people who study theoretical physics.
uh, sure. That's what I study. I mean, the time part, no, but I can just kind of reopen it. I just can't touch it, if that makes any sense.
All right,
Out of
let's reopen it.
out of curiosity, as you're all discussing this, you're all in the apartment, yes?
Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, great. Uh, are you doing any? So we have this notion of reopening a portal. Is there anything anybody else is wanting to do in this apartment?
I'm snooping.
Great, perfect. That leads into exactly what I was about to lead into. So as you're all talking, Liv, you're snooping around, you're looking around, and you're looking through the things, you're looking for any sort of clue, and then you look up, and you see something that you definitely see something interesting. You see the doorway is just completely blocked full of people.
Um, Not to alarm anyone, but she just
Like the
points.
doorway we came from, we walked
The
in from?
doorway, and as you all turn to look where Liv is pointing, you see the doorway that you came through is now completely blockaded with about 7 or 8 people, all different kinds of people. Some of them, one man is even in his bathrobe. It looks like he lives here. Who are just peering in and dead eye staring at all 5 of you.
Just gonna
Fuck
close the
this.
door.
You go to close the door, and 8 hands reach, push, and just push it back open. And in unison, all 8 people ask you, "What are you doing?" And you will
Selling
answer that
Avon.
question. And that is a question you will answer in the next episode as we go to the finale of this series and close for tonight. Thank you all for watching. I'd like to thank my players here for engaging in this mystery more. We're going to do a quick go around and everybody can tell you who they are, where you can find them, and what they are up to. And we are going to start with our newest addition, Samantha.
Hi, I'm Samantha McClarty. I have been the very interesting and super hyper Olivia Pierce. And as far as where you can find me, aside from this, I'm not really sure. I am working on another project. I have no idea when it's gonna appear in the ether. I got nothing. There should be a link tree maybe somewhere. So yeah, check that out. I got things and stuffs on that. Really bad at outros. Don't know what else to say. So next.
All right, we'll move forward then on to Jamar.
That's me. I'm Jamar. I was playing Valente. He is very freaked out by several people being in a doorway. Um, I can be found on the internet at Poppy Wolves, most places. Um, and I'm taking commissions for all you tabletop nerds who want your characters to look nice. And I write stuff most of the time. And that's about it.
Keeping the clockwise fashion going so that we can end with our channel host. I'm up next. My name is Zachary Vauder. I've been your storyteller. You can find me on Twitter at YepItZach, Blue Sky, and Spotify as SneakerNet. I make electronic music and theme music for various productions, such as the theme song for this game and many others. You can also find me Thursdays on the Hype Goblin playing Luck and Chaos, an extremely homebrewed D&D campaign. We have made many, many mistakes, and we are possibly learning from most of them. Apart from that, just follow me to see what we're up to. I am wherever tabletop games are played. We'll move now to Abby.
Yeah, I'm Abby. I'm your local Disney nerd. You can catch me on the Bird website mostly at Enough of Abby, where I'm being an award-winning TPRPG performer. I'm a cultural consultant. I'm a sensitivity reader. And I've got a few things cooking on the back stove, but thanks to the curses of time, they're being delayed, but hopefully by the time they're released, they should be out. I'll give you a hint. It involves changelings in Miami. But like Zach mentioned, you can catch me in Luck and Chaos as your favorite little gay bloodsucker. If you liked donuts, you're gonna love Viscorth. And most of all, check out the people here. They're pretty damn cool.
Next up, we'll move over to Brennan.
Hi, I'm Brennan. I was the good Dr. Arthur Washington. You can find me at anywhere at Great Black Otaku and in bed in about 5 minutes.
And we'll keep to that schedule by ending with Steve.
That's me. I'm Steve, usually Storyteller Steve. I'm much like Jamar, weirded out that there are people in our doorway that are sticking their heads in and all talking at the same time. So yeah, I was playing the Celestial Chorus member, Jonathan Bonaparte Yovi. You can see me in all the stuff pretty much either behind the scenes or in front of the camera for Vancouver by Night. Pay attention to all of our sponsors. There's going to be some videos coming up in the next couple of seconds because I pre-record now because I'm smarter than the average bear. So we will see you all next week. Figure out what's going on.
Thank you all for joining us. We'll see you in the finale.
Go piss, girl.